If you enjoy the content on this channel, please like and subscribe. The fifth season of Fargo, an American anthology dark comedy crime drama television series created by Noah Hawley, premiered on November 21st, 2023 on FX. It consists of 10 episodes. Originally, the season was scheduled to premiere in September 2023, but was delayed due to the 2023 Hollywood labor disputes. As an anthology, each Fargo season possesses its own self-contained narrative, following a disparate set of characters in various settings and eras, albeit in a shared universe. This is, however, the first season of the series not to have any remote connection to either previous season or to the film. It is set in Minnesota and North Dakota in the fall of 2019. It stars Juno Temple as Dorothy Lyon, a seemingly typical Midwestern housewife living in Scandia, Minnesota, whose mysterious past comes back to haunt her after she lands in hot water with the authorities. Jon Hamm stars as North Dakota Sheriff Roy Tillman, who has been searching for Dot for a long time. Other cast members include Jennifer Jason Leigh as Dot's wealthy, arrogant mother-in-law, Lorraine Lyon, Keery as Roy's loyal son, Gator Tillman, Lamorne Morris as Deputy Witt Farr, and Sam Spruell as a mysterious drifter, Ole Munch. The season has been met with positive critical reviews, with many critics calling it a return to form with the show and favourably comparing it to the previous two seasons. The season was nominated for 3 Golden Globe Awards for Best Miniseries or Television Film and Best Actor and Actress in a Miniseries or Television Film for Hamm and Temple, respectively. On the day of the fourth season's finale, Storia Americana series creator Noah Hawley was questioned about the potential fifth season. He would say, "The danger is you're always going to stay and dance a little too long, so I have to put a lot of it in place in my head and really make sure that it's worthy of joining these 41 hours. I don't want to try and make another one unless I think, oh, we have to make this one, it's the best one yet." By March 2021, Hawley had said, "I'll get to it in the next year." In February 2022, FX officially renewed the series for a fifth season. Hawley said that the season would be more comedic in tone, saying it's always a balance between how dramatic versus comedic it is, and this is on the more comedic end of the spectrum. "I really love it," he would say. In June 2022, Juno Temple, Jon Hamm and Jennifer Jason Leigh were confirmed as the main cast members for Season 5. Filming for the season started on October 7th, 2022 in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Some viewers of the new season may have noticed a lengthy homage to the iconic scene from the show's cinematic predecessor, namely Fargo, released in 1996. Creator Noah Hawley confirmed that Juno Temple's shocking kidnapping in the fifth season premiere was a deliberate reference to the abduction of Jen Lundgaard in the movie. In 1996's Fargo, Lundgaard, played by Kristen Rudrud, was abducted from her home in the broad daylight by criminals Carl Schoatler, played by Steve Buscemi, and Geir Grimsgaard, played by Peter Stormare. Hawley said, "We literally recreated the beginning of the kidnapping with Juno while she's knitting and watching the morning show. We designed the house not to be the same, but to have the same points of view on the porch outside and the guy coming up. And it was really, I must say, after 41 hours in Fargo, it was kind of amazing to be behind the camera filming a scene from the movie." Hawley would say that the season was built around the original film, but flipped to showcase an underseen character, while the film centers around Jean's husband, Jerry, played by William H. Macy, the 2 criminals he hires to kidnap her, and the cop, played by Frances McDormand, who sees through their lies. Jean herself is a minor player and is eventually killed off screen. Not so for Temple's Lyon, says Hawley. "I thought this was an interesting opportunity to say, okay, well, let's put the audience in a position where they're watching something that they've seen before. Now their brains are going to tell them that's what happens next. But we're going to do a different version, and that's what the story is actually going to be, the story about the wife." The story, of course, kicks off with Lyon getting arrested for accidentally tasing a police officer. That brings her to the attention of corrupt Sheriff Roy Tillman, a figure from Dot's shadowy past, who dispatches the mysterious criminal Ole Munch to bring her to him. But Dot is not so easily abducted, and while she eventually escapes from her captors, she's ignited a firestorm of vengeance and violence. While her husband Wayne and daughter Scotty are drawn into the madness, and while Tillman and his sinister son Gator are on her trail, and the now betrayed Munch is after them all. Meanwhile, Wayne's wealthy mother Lorraine and her aide-de-camp Danish Graves want Dot gone, and the police officers Indra Olmsted and Witt Farr just want to help. Some fun trivia notes. Despite being named after the city in North Dakota, the TV series primarily takes place in Minnesota, with some of this season 5 being shot in North Dakota, but nowhere near Fargo. The show always opens up with the disclaimer, this is a true story. The events depicted in this show took place in Minnesota in 2019. At the request of the survivors, the names have been changed. Out of respect for the dead, the rest has been told exactly as it occurred. Despite this, writer and director of the original film, Joel Cohen, said it's completely made up, or as we like to say, the only thing true about it is that this is a story. Noah Hawley, of course, is inspired by this and uses it in every episode of the TV series. The Fargo accent is a rural Minnesotan inflection that some view as part of the Minnesota nice cultural stereotype, which assumes Minnesotans to be Diet Coke Canadians in terms of politeness. Now, I have absolutely loved the Fargo series from season 1 all the way through to season 5. Not to mention, of course, the original inspiration for the TV series, the movie released in 1996, which was completely groundbreaking, original, and so enjoyable, yet terribly haunting as well. The TV series, of course, has picked up directly from where the movie left off. And I love the idea of an anthology series with each season being a different story with a different setting, different characters, and set in a different era. Season 5, though, is absolutely excellent in its own right. The story is engaging, thrilling, tantalizing, and really just sort of plays out as a pure, unadulterated thriller. The cast, too, are absolutely on point. Juno Temple turns out one of her best performances in her career. She plays what seems on the surface the mild-mannered, seemingly ordinary housewife, Dot, to perfection, but then of course she reveals her deeper and darker side, as she's now learnt to fight for survival. One of the standouts to me, though, has to be Jennifer Jason Leigh here as Lorraine Lyon. Jennifer Jason really sinks her teeth into this role. It's an absolutely superb performance here. And even though she's mean, ruthless, and uncompromising, you can't help but fall for the character along the way, as at the heart of it, she is on the right side. Joe Keery turns out an excellent performance here as Gator Tillman, Roy's brash son, deputy and protege, who's eager to prove his worth to his father. As is Sam Spruell as Ole Munch, a mysterious criminal for hire who holds vendettas against both Dot and Tillman, and who apparently is also a 500-year-old sin-eater originally from Wales. There's so much tension on the screen when he's on it, and he's absolutely excellent. And one of the standouts, of course, has to be Jon Hamm here as Sheriff Roy Tillman, a corrupt rancher serving as the constitutional sheriff of Stark County, North Dakota, who's also Dot's estranged husband from 11 years prior. Jon is absolutely magnificent in this role. He's so evil, menacing, and awful, and Hamm really brings this character to life with absolute perfection. The show also makes some very valid points about spousal abuse, and makes Roy Tillman a North Dakotan preacher and sheriff who believes that enforcing the law puts him above it. The kind of vindictive strongman who would thrive in the modern United States. Tillman's character almost redefines Christianity, and here we have this right-wing conservative lawman who at the same time has nipple rings and has a sex trunk in his bedroom and even smokes some weed. Hawley said, "I really wanted to redefine the character and make a statement about right-wing conservatism." All in all, the character of Tillman played by Hamm here is fascinating, yet incredibly evil and unlikable. As I said earlier, the story is gripping from start to finish. Each episode is excellent as the tale twists and turns and reveals another layer and depth to this already nuanced and superbly told plotline. Once again, I also love the setting, of course, being here in Minnesota and North Dakota, with the wonderful Minnesotan nice accent coming through, as has been a hallmark of the Fargo series. With its excellent acting performances, wonderful biting script, intriguing and fascinating storyline, Fargo Season 5 is surely a thrilling watch. Fargo Season 5 gets a 9 out of 10.